Hey, just coming in the edits before the start of this video to let you know that I'm aware that the audio is messed up in the beginning of it. So turn on the captions if you need to. You'll probably notice like a big jump in the audio quality in the first few minutes of the video. So you may want to prepare yourself so you don't have a jump scare from turning the sound way up and then needing to turn it down again. Um, I don't really know what happened there. I guess there was like something more interesting that the microphone was picking up besides my voice. Love that for the microphone, but yeah, so it just is what it is. It's not very long that the audio is weird, but there is weird audio in this video, so yeah. So, hi, I'm Red Canvas Coach. My name is Heather. I thought it might be interesting for some people to see how someone with my hair type styles and like what products they use for their hair. I washed it last night, and then of course I use a bonnet at night. So, and then when I take a shower, I wet the hair, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I won't need to wet it again by the time I put my makeup on. Usually I need to wet it again, and I usually do my hair last after my makeup so that I don't have powder in my hair because it was a sit on the top of my hair and look really fucking dumb. So if I'm gonna wet my hair again, I actually use rose water to wet it. I only started doing this a few years ago, but I have no idea if it actually helps or not officially, but I like to think that it does, and it makes me feel fancy. I like the way it smells, and I think it's like I don't use it every day, but I think it's a cool way to wet my hair and not use like the tap water with all the minerals and chemicals in it. And especially when I was in Ireland, the water was really hard, so my hair was really dry and falling out a lot, and that is anti-black. The water in Ireland doesn't like people of color's hair. I would talk to some of the other psychology students in other programs. They're from India, and they were like, "I guess I'm just gonna be bald if I stay in Ireland," and it feels that way. It feels like your hair is never going to acclimate to the environment. But I live in the U.S. for now. We'll be moving in a few months, but for now I live in the U.S. in the South. So it's hot and humid most of the time starting in April, and it's May now. So yeah, the humidity and heat has already come. So it depends on how my hair feels as I'm wetting it after it's been washed. It helps me understand what is next, and I have a lot of different options because my hair does not necessarily want the same thing every day. So it's very femme in that way. So what I'm going to try first is this sauce. It's called Guacamole Whip. It's a deep moisture conditioner. So I don't have a lot of product in my hair right now. There's always some residual conditioner in my hair after I wash it. And this is the only thing that seems to work no matter where I live, which is the Curl Defining Deep Conditioning Hair Mask from Giovanni. So I use this and I rinse it out in the shower while combing it, but I still end up like leaving a little bit in residually. I don't rinse it super thoroughly because I want to have some moisture in my hair overnight. Sometimes I'll put this in my hair the next day, but it can sometimes just like leave a weird coating and make my hair look kind of like washed out. So I'm going to use a little bit of this deep conditioner. Everything I put in my hair stays in my hair. So every day I put a shit ton of conditioner in my hair and I leave it in there. And that's how I've been doing it since I was a kid. And it works pretty well and seems to like keep my hair from getting dried out, and it holds a lot more moisture if I leave everything in. So even if it's something that it tells you to rinse out, even if it's a deep conditioner, if it's something that I'm putting in my hair for the day, it stays in my hair the whole day. So as I'm putting this in my hair, it feels like it's starting to take the moisture in, like it's not feeling as dry. Sometimes it will still feel dry even after I put the first layer of product in, but it feels like it's taking, which means I don't have to necessarily throw spaghetti at the wall today. So that's the first layer. I'm making sure that it's coating all of my hair, and I do that by feel. I also need to do it by look a little bit, so I'm checking in the mirror, like, is it starting to look less dry and less fuzzy? Is it starting to have shape? And it is. So that means I can move on to love it or hate it. This is what works for me. I don't know what to tell you if you have a problem with it, but it's the Shea Moisture Strengthen and Restore Conditioner. This is the Jamaican Black Castor Oil one. I've been using it for, I don't know, however long it's existed probably. And it works very well for my hair in most countries. I didn't have it. I didn't have access to it when I was in Australia, and my hair suffered for it. This was a long time ago now. I left Australia in 2010. But I've used Shea Moisture in Japan, and I've used it in Ireland, and now in the US, of course. And I like that it's brown because it usually enhances the natural color of my hair. I don't dye my hair or put any like chemicals in it, but yeah, I kind of like that. So I put a shit ton of this in until it is like thoroughly coated and feels less dry. So it's interesting to note that like putting all these products in my hair, it took me a long time to realize that once they dry, and I obviously don't want the crunchy look. I used to like put it in a bun so that the crunch would be kind of like released that way. But then I realized, not like embarrassingly a short time ago, that I can use another product after the hair is dry, and I get a much better result, and I get to keep all the curl while getting rid of the crunch. So you won't see it in this video, but I have been using this. It's another Giovanni product. It's called Too Chic Repairing Super Potion Hair Oil Serum, and I use probably like the smallest drop that you can get out. That's all I need. But I've also started to combine it with the smallest drop that I can get out of this Pacifica turmeric guava hair food serum. And I like that combination because it feels like a really natural finish on my hair. Not crunchy, not super like fluffy, still holding the curl really well and holding up in the humidity. So as I'm talking, I'm still putting conditioner in my hair. My hair soaks up quite a lot of conditioner. I've tried other things. I've tried putting like coconut oil in my hair. I've tried other hair products for black hair, and they don't work well on my hair. Carol's daughter, you name it, I've tried it, doesn't work on my hair. These combinations are what do, and it's been a long time of trial and error and hoping for something different, but this is what works. So at the ends of my hair, I can still feel that they're dry, and I'm just going to leave it because sometimes that happens after I first wash it and I first put stuff in. So what's going to happen is one day, so the first day, day one after wash, it'll just be a little bit dry. But then because there's product in my hair, the next day when I put more stuff in and do the whole routine and let it dry, air dry, and then put the serum in after it's dry, then it will be good. So I just have to kind of live with that. So the last step is, and I love this because it lasts like most of a year, is the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil Stronghold Styling Gel. And I don't use it straight. I mean, it's fine to use it straight, but I've found that if I dilute it with more of the conditioner and mix it together and then put it on my hair, that it has a better result. And I've been a hair product mixing witch since I was in junior high. I used to have to go to a lot of great lengths, a lot of strife and weird, gross hair product situations to get any product to work for my hair because there weren't really any black hair care products available to me that worked for my hair when I was a kid. There was like Cream of Nature and it kind of was okay. I ended up having to use like Pantene and stuff, which is like such a tragedy because my hair could have looked so much nicer than it did, but it just was what it was. But now I can mix products however I want, and I can tell by feel, sometimes even before I put it on my hair, but definitely the minute, the second, the instant I put it on my hair, what my hair is going to do about it. And that's similar with skincare products. I've found that I will know instantly if a skincare product is going to work or not based on how it feels, how my skin feels to the touch after I add something. So all the products are in. I can feel that my hair is pretty saturated, like it feels pretty wet. And that's good because that means that there's enough product, and when it dries, it will not look dry. So then I bend over and scrunch, which I'm not gonna change the camera, so you're just gonna have to hold, please. What I do is smooth the hair underneath, like on my scalp underneath, and then I scrunch it up and I hold it to the part, and then I'm usually like continuing to work it towards the part so the part isn't really flat. And so yeah, it looks super wet right now, but it usually only takes an hour, maybe 2 hours to dry, and no one's ever complained to me and said that I should look more put together when my hair is still wet. So yeah, I'm washing my hands. I smeared my mascara somehow doing this, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But that is how somebody like me use this product on their hair every day.